Hey everyone, we are back with another awesome Breshna tutorial. Today we are going to be working on our Jumble Joy template, which is a really fun game where you kind of put words together based off of hints. But before we get into any of that, we want to make sure that you are logged in so that you can save your work. So if this says login right up here, make sure you log in either with your email and password or make an account. It's very easy and very quick. You just want to make sure that you can save your work that you've done on this awesome template. So before we enter the editor, we can see a couple of options here. One, this little exclamation point. You can click this and read a little bit more about the template. Create your own word game where players create words with groups of letters. Then I can click this little X right here and have that go away. Then I can click preview if I want to actually play this game and get a little bit of an idea of how this actually functions before I get into the template. I can absolutely do that. Finally, we have this beautiful pink create button that I can press and it will pull me into the actual editor. So now you can see we've got two kind of side menus here. On our left side, we have our more visual audio side with our avatar, background, and music. Our avatar is hanging out right here. And on the right side, we have a little bit more of the verbal. So we've got our description, our game title, and we're also going to go into introduction as well as all of these different words that we're going to be using. Now you can also see over here avatar and background, and if I click on this, it will bring me over to the left side where my avatars are. So you can see right here I have my avatars, your avatars, right? These are all of things that I actually uploaded and are right now available in our Bolt Squad uploads. So you can upload your own avatar, and we'll see what that looks like in just a second, or you can choose any one of our amazing diverse assets. So we really work hard to make sure we try and represent everybody within our humans, and then of course we have very adorable animals that you can choose from. They are super duper cute. I can go back and we've got objects, we've got partner avatars, and Bolt Squad uploads. So these Bolt Squad uploads are things that you and I have actually uploaded. You can see this is the puppy dog that I uploaded just recently. I also uploaded this cat and this lady here, and so all of those are things that I made public, and now other people can put those in their games. If you want to upload an avatar, you come right here, and then there are a bunch of instructions that will pop up that you have to follow. Make sure you follow these so your avatar looks absolutely amazing. Then I'm going to add file right here, and I can click on another avatar in my computer. Look at this adorable cat. I think she's so cute. Now you can choose to cut out this avatar in something else. You would have to use a different sort of platform, or you can just upload any of your JPEGs and it will fill this screen, but that's okay. It still looks really nice. Now you're going to come over to title. I'm going to title my avatar kitty cat. No, not just cat. Now I'm going to add some tags. So these tags are going to be what other people use if you keep this public when you're searching for your avatar. So make sure though that you click enter after every single one of these, because I can type as much as I want, but it's not going to go into the system until I actually click enter. Now of course I don't want that, so I can just click backspace and have that disappear, or I can click this little X and it does the same thing. Finally, we have our privacy settings. So here we have public and private. If you leave it public, that is how people search for it and end up using your avatar in their games. If you don't want other people to use your avatar in their games, you are welcome to leave it private, and then you are the only one that will see it, you're the only one that will be able to use it, and it's nice and private. I'm going to leave this as public, and then I'm going to click upload. Right up here in the corner, a beautiful green banner is going to pop up telling me my asset has been uploaded. Then I can click X and return out to here. So let's go ahead and come in here and let's use that new avatar right here. She's adorable, look at that cat. And then our avatar shows in the corner right here. Now we are going to change our background. You can see back here, this is kind of a circusy type background. I'm actually going to do something school related. There's a school scene right here on the top, because this is going to be a game all about English. So before we move into actually getting into the English part, we are going to come over here to our music and decide what music we want. So I can choose any of these songs and click these little purple triangles for the song to actually start playing. and I can get a little bit of a sense of what song I want, right? And then if I want it, I can click this pink plus button here and it turns into a check. That's how I know that it has been applied to the game. If I don't want any music, I'm gonna go right up here and click no music, and that you can see everything kind of goes dark. That means that I can't choose anything, right? So I'm going to click this back on and I'm going to go ahead and choose this Arcade Shots as my song. And if you don't click no music, but you also don't add any of these, it will go to a default song. So make sure that you're aware of that. If you want music, either choose it or tell us you want new music. Now the cool thing is you can also upload your own music. You just follow these instructions in the same process we did to upload our avatar, and you can do the same for your background. Just make sure you follow those instructions. Now that we've done our left side, we're going to come over to the right one more time. We can see our avatar has been placed in. We can see that our background has been changed. You can see it behind here. Now this is going to be opaque. This all does appear while the player is playing. So watch out for that. If there's something that you really like, but most of the content is like here, it's not going to be that visible. So just be aware as you start to upload your own backgrounds that that's kind of a limitation for that. Now right here, we've got some rules we need to follow. There are minimum 3 words required and a maximum of 10 words allowed. So I understand, I'm going to click these little X's to make them go away. So the cool thing about this game is we've got an introduction. This introduction is going to show up before the person plays, but after they click play. So they do see this before they actually play the game. So I'm going to use this to tell them a little bit about the theme of this game and how they're going to play. So how this game works is you can have 4-letter words, 6-letter words, 8-letter words, or 9-letter words. Depending on which letter words you have, the number of pieces available will change. So if there's 4-letter words, I can have 2 sets of pieces, and each one is going to have 2 letters. So I would be able to look through here, each one of these would have 2 letters, and I would click 1, 2 to try and figure out what the letter is, or what the word is rather. If I go to 6 letters, you can see 2 of these pop up. I can choose to have 2, same like this, 1, 2, with 3 letters each. It would be exactly like this. Or I can choose 3 pieces and it would have 2 letters each, and I would choose 1, 2, 3 to make the word. And so if you go to 8 letters, there's no 3, it's not divisible by 3, right? So you can choose 2, which have 4 letters on each, or you can choose 4, which would have 2 letters on each, and you would 1, 2, 3, 4 to figure out the word, right? The way I like to do this game is I have 4 letters in the beginning, and then maybe we start to add more levels to get more words that are longer and longer. So I'm going to set up this whole level here, and then we'll go up and figure out how to add a level. So we're going to start with 4-letter words. Obviously, there's only the 2 options, so we're going to keep it with 2. And funny enough, the first word that we're going to have is word. So word right here, I actually have this written out already for time's sake. And what this is a single distinct meaningful element of speech or writing. That is a word. Now I can come down here. My second word is going to be text. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to write T-E-X-T, and then I can go to my hint and type in my hint and have that be written or printed words, especially regarded in terms of their content. That's text. Then I can add another word here, verb. And remember, we have to have at least 3 words. Oops, this did not work, that's okay, verb. And then I can come in here and it's a word to describe an action, state, or occurrence. Now I have one more word I want to add, so I'm going to click add new word, and you'll notice that these little X marks pop up. That doesn't happen when we only have 3 words because we need 3 words for the template to function. Once you have 4 or more, you can choose any of these to X out of. If I wanted to get rid of the text, I could get rid of text. It's totally up to you. This is going to be noun, and as I copy this right here, I'm going to type in noun and enter my hint, which is a word used to identify any of a class of people, places, or things. Right? Very cool. So each of these has 4 letters, and we're going to have 2 pieces on each. Now I'm going to go all the way up to the top here. I'm actually going to take a second to copy this introduction because I'm going to use basically the same thing. I'm just going to have a little bit of an edit. So now I'm going to add a level, and you can see this switches to level 2. I can use this little toggle to go back and forth between level 1 and level 2. If I want, I can change my avatar here. So if I want to change this to this kitty cat, and I want to change it to a beautiful kind of mountain scene behind here, then I can do that as well, and all of it has changed. But if I go back to level 1, it stays with the original avatar and background. So I can make these as customized as I want. Now I'm going to use this same thing. Oh, that's right, this already populates. One of the things you want to remember is if you're going to use a very similar hint, you want to fill everything out before you add a level, because when you add a level, it just duplicates the one before it. So all of these are going to have the right hints. All of these are going to be, it's going to be the exact same level. All you want to do is adjust a little bit. So for me, I wanted to use basically this same thing, but I'm going to use 6-letter words in this one. So we'll say English themed 6-letter words. Of course, I need to switch this from 4 to 6, and now I have the option to do 2 pieces or 3 pieces. I think we'll switch to 3 just so that you guys can see the difference. Now, I'm going to come up here and grab my hint for my word, which is phrase. So I'm here, I've got phrase, and I've copied my hint. This is a small group of words standing together as a conceptual unit, typically forming a component of a clause. This is getting a little bit more difficult, right, as we go through. Now we're going to have rhymes, and our hint is correspondence of a sound between words or the ending of words, especially used at the ends of lines of poetry, right? Those are rhymes. And now we have genres. I'm going to come here, grab my hint, genres, and in categories of artistic composition as in music, literature, or characterized by similarities in form, style, or subject matter. Those are genres. And finally, our last one is going to be essays, right here, ESSAYS, and then we can put this in and have this be short pieces of writing on a particular subject, often an important form of assessment in an English education. Right, so now we've got all of these filled out, we've got both of our levels fixed, we've got our avatar set up, and now we're finally going to end up right up here in our game info. So now we're going to add a game title. We're going to say English Joy. Sure, why not? And then our insert tags, this is going to be very similar as to what we did with our avatars. Then we have our category right here, and this says 6 different categories: health, entertainment, sports, games for good, enterprise, and education. Because this is all English related, I'm going to put this into education. And one more time, this is kind of what helps us to put your games in the right categories so other people can see them. Collecting player emails is pretty cool. You can actually collect the email of whoever the player is. So they don't need to make an account or sign up for anything. They just have to input their email before they play the game. So I'm going to toggle this on so we can see what it looks like. Then finally we come down to our description, and this is going to tell us a little bit more about what this actual game is. So I like to actually have very similar things between the introduction and the game description. But what's really cool is you can format this a little bit better. So in the introduction, it's going to be a paragraph and it's going to look something like this. But if I click enter in the description, I can actually make a new line, and I don't have to double enter. I can just make it like this if I want. I prefer to put a space in between my paragraphs so that it looks a little bit better. And you could even do things here like give a little bit more information, like review chapter 4, if you get stuck, and then if you really need help, visit my website.com, right? So things like that. We really like the description. There's a limit of 300 characters. You can kind of get in here and do quite a bit. So now we've gone through and we've done everything we need to do. I can come right up here to the top and click publish. We're going to have it come up. Now our game is live, and we can do a couple of things here. So of course we're going to play our game because we want to make sure that we catch any errors before we send it out. But if you want to, you can just send it out. You can just copy this URL and then you can text it to people, send it on WhatsApp, put it on Twitter, anywhere that you can put a link, you can put this URL and people can play your game. If you also want, you can embed this directly into your website by copy pasting this code and inserting it into your HTML, and then it will actually be embedded within your website and people don't have to go to a new tab or anything. When I click play, this will open up into a separate tab, and as it's loading, I can check back and forth and actually go back and forth between my editor and the game. And so because it jumps into a new tab, I can actually use this and go back and forth if I want to do any edits as I find them. So this is that email toggle that we put on. I'm going to input my email here, and it's going to say welcome back, but for you that if you're just starting, if this is your first time doing that, it will say email and name as well on the bottom. So this about section is our description. This is the use this, oh my goodness, see, exactly like this. See, this is the problem. Use the hints to guess English themed 6-letter words by putting together groups of letters, and then review the chapter if you get stuck. If you really need help, visit mywebsite.com. But obviously I don't want this 6-letter to stay here because that doesn't make sense for the first level. So let's just hop back really quick and we can go over here and into our description and say English themed words, and just kind of take that part out so that we can make sure it makes sense for the whole thing. So I'm going to wait to publish this until after I come into my and finish my game. However, if I did want to publish this, it's not actually going to affect this game until I refresh. It will always update with the same exact URL link, so you don't need to go and update those URLs every time. It will automatically update. So if you send it to your WhatsApp group, that is going to be fine. You can update it and publish it again, and it'll be fine. So now I'm back, I'm going to hit play, and then you can choose between a timed challenge or a self-paced challenge. I prefer to be self-paced, and of course I prefer to do easy, but you can choose whatever your difficulty is. And now that level intro pops up. Use the hints to guess the English-themed 4-letter words by putting together groups of letters. If you need help, visit mywebsite.com. And now I can play it. Then it pops up with all of this. You can see each of these has 2 letters, and we're going to be putting 2 of these together. So we have a single distinct meaningful element of speech or writing. We know that that's word. We're cheating a little bit because we already know these, but I would go 1, 2, word, and it pops in. Then I have written or printed words, especially regarded in terms of their content. And what was this? This was text. So we see the XT. Where do we see? We need to find our TE. There it is, TEXT. Beautiful. And then we can go down, word to describe action, state, or occurrence. And so we know that is a verb. So we found our B. Where is our VE? Coming over here, VERB. And then finally, word used to identify a class of people, places, or things. We know that's a noun right there. And now we have 1 level. This is going to pop up and it's going to give all of the text or the words and the hints together, just so that there's a review for your students or anybody who's playing. There's a little bit of a review. Then I can go next, go to the next level, and we'll see what it looks like with 6-letter words. One more time, this level intro pops up, then they can go past it, and now we've got 6-letter words going on. So we've done 3 on this. These are each 2 letters. If I decided to do 2 pieces, just like the first level, these would each have 3 letters. a small group of words standing together as a conceptual unit, typically forming a component of a clause that is a phrase, right? So we are going to do PH, we're going to find an RA, and we're going to find an SE, and that's phrase. And then again, we're going to continue to go. We know this one is rhymes, so we have an RH, we need a YM, we have a YL, let's see, YM, and then we need an ES right here, rhymes. And continuing on, we have our genres, so that's GERE, oh no, that's NR, NR, and then ES again, ES right there, genres. And then our final one, essays, we need an ES, and we need an SA, and we need a YS. We're almost there. There it is. And that's our game. You can see as well, my avatar changed, and if I got one wrong, then one of these little hearts would disappear. Because it's on easy, I've got 5 different options, but as you get harder and harder, that will actually go down. And then again, your answers pop up, and then we've won. So that is our Jumble Joy template. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you come, I hope you have an awesome time, and thanks for being game.